So thank you everybody for joining us this afternoon for this session on Tiimo, a neuroinclusive planner with Beaux from Tiimo. If you have any questions, Beaux, would you prefer people to ask them during the session or wait till the end?
During is great. If folks want to use the chat,
Yep.
Works perfectly. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, over to you then. Thanks, Beaux.
Amazing. All right. Hi, y'all. I'm so happy to be here with you. As folks have said, my name is Beaux. I'm based in Copenhagen, where Tiimo is also based, and I'm German American, if anyone's confused about the accent. Folks often are. So yeah, I'm here to share a bit about planning with Tiimo. We have been around since 2015, actually. So we're one of the first folks who really started designing tools by and for neurodivergent people, kind of with accessible tech as like the main, the main kind of tool for that. Yes. Anyways, so I am going to share a couple of slides. So I'm sure all of you have struggled at some point with, remembering things, starting tasks, keeping up with deadlines, and the overwhelm, and just like, yeah, we all at some point or another are juggling, a couple of calendars, whether you're in school or you're working or you're doing both, or you have kids, whatever. All that can lead to a whole lot of things to juggle, and especially if you're neurodivergent. And for us at Tiimo, that means, anything under the neurodiversity umbrella, whether that's autism, ADHD, dyslexia, bipolar, all across that spectrum. It can make it even harder to balance things, because a lot of us are, navigating a world that was not really designed with us in mind. I'm actually autistic and ADHD myself. And yeah, I used Tiimo for a couple of years before I ever worked here. So it's really cool to kind of go from being a user to still a user, but also someone who works directly on the team. So yeah, we're a team of 20 based in Copenhagen, Denmark. We're founded by 2 women, actually as a result of a university research project that was exploring assistive technology for neurodivergent teens. And we've kind of, metamorphosized into this planning and learning tool for neurodivergent people. We have folks using Tiimo across 185 countries, which is really, really cool. And there's a lot of localizations as well. So you can use Tiimo in Korean if you happen to speak Korean. So yeah, lots of different ways in which we try to make this tool as accessible as possible to people, kind of with the hope that it helps folks, remind things before, it's too late. I used to be someone that pretty chronically overbooked myself or forgot tasks, and then it was too late. I missed a deadline or something, and that can have pretty big consequences for folks. We also use a lot of the, newest technology, like for example, AI, to help folks break tasks down and to really, kind of take advantage of like the newest research out there to make planning even one step easier. There's some really exciting AI projects in the works right now as well. I'm going to show you a little sneak peek in the app as well. And then, organizing your day. Tiimo is actually available not only on phones. We're iOS predominantly. We do have an Android app, but it's unfortunately, a little bit behind the iOS, but we do also have a web app. We work on smartwatches, and then we also work on tablets. So you can really use it across your devices, and it syncs really nicely to make sure that you're always staying on track of your tasks. And then another thing that's really important to us is making it adaptive. So we support folks across, neurotypes, and we've actually found that, assistive technology creates a better solution for everyone. So although around 75% of our users identify as neurodivergent, it is really a tool that we so strongly believe can help anyone, whether or not they're neurodivergent. So, for example, things like stress, burnout, anxiety, that affects people across the board. And so we've really found that people who, maybe work better with visual planning feel really drawn to Tiimo. So it is across, across whatever diagnoses you have or don't have. And of course, it's also really hard to get a diagnosis nowadays. So we really want to make sure that Tiimo stays available to people kind of regardless of where they're at. And yeah, this is, you can see here, for example, this little task breakdown. That is someone who has gone all in with all the options to customize Tiimo, but there's also the option to just put in like the most, just a name of your task, or even, you can keep it as basic as possible or make it as customized as you want, because we really want people to feel kind of the same level of customizability, maybe a word, that you have with a physical planner. So it's also a tool that is really great to transition kind of from the like post-it notes all over your screen and desk into using a virtual tool that you kind of always have in your pocket. So yeah. Let's see. And this is really what we kind of center all of our design around. Everything that we build in-house. So all of the, all the tech, all of that is built in-house. And we have a really amazing product and research team that really looks into how we can support folks with their executive functioning. This is kind of the mental skills that all of us have. And, as humans, we all are better or maybe not as good in certain aspects of executive functioning. And we really work to kind of uplift your executive functioning skills with the tools that we have. So whenever we're creating a new feature or whatnot, we always look at how does this support a user's executive functioning skills, so that over time, especially for neurodivergent people where executive functioning can look a little bit different, and oftentimes neurodivergent folks are not environments that really like cater to their needs, we really try to create this tool that can support people in those environments that don't cater to their needs. So yeah, I really want to show y'all a bit of the app itself. So I'm going to pull up both the web app and then also the app on my phone, just so you can get a little bit of a sneak peek into what the iOS app looks like. Like I said, the Android app is great, but it is definitely behind what we are doing in our iOS app. So the iOS is what I'm going to show you today. So give me a second, and I'm going to share a different screen. Let's see. Perfect. Okay. Here we go. So this is actually, you're getting a full look into the life of Beaux, because this is my personal Tiimo, and I always find that it makes a lot more sense during demos to show what I actually use the app for, because I am a user instead of, some kind of demo thing that, no one is actually using. You're getting a real look into how Tiimo can look when it is used by somebody. And just for reference, yeah, I work full time, so I use it for work and then for managing kind of my day-to-day. And the options that you see here, we always recommend that folks use, start off by integrating their calendars. Tiimo gives you the option to integrate both your calendars and your reminders directly through Apple, which is really, really great, because you don't have to reinvent the wheel with getting started with your planning, but you can kind of already slap stuff that you had in your tasks directly into here. So you can see, for example, the town hall, including breakfast, it has the little tiny Tiimo logo next to it. That is something that was imported from my Outlook calendar. So it directly takes everything, it syncs, as often as you want it to sync. And then you can see all of your tasks kind of congregated in this one screen. There's also options depending on what kind of person you are to see things in a really, tight little format or the expanded one. This is really nice because it shows you how much time you have between tasks. So for example, you see here 2 hours, no plans, and the little plus symbol. If you click that, it gives you the option to add a new task. Under the tasks, like I said, you can go in whatever direction you want with the level of specificity that you want. So for example, here we can do a task title like, what do we want to do? organize desk, and you could just click that black button on the bottom right and just submit it. It'll automatically apply it for 30 minutes, and then you have that task in there. You can also click more details, and then you can go all in with adding whatever details you want. I'm someone maybe in the in-between. I like, to have it look pretty, to have it look like me and a little bit, engaging, but I don't need like 48 subtasks. But there's the option absolutely to do that. You have the option to add whatever visuals you want, whether that's colors, emojis, or pictures. I find the pictures really helpful. For example, if I need to remember to water a certain plant that's maybe kind of out of sight, then you also, okay, let me just add a little bit of a picture. There we go. You have the option to plan not only for today, but for tomorrow or some date in the future. Timing, you have the option to book for a certain time or any time. I really like the anytime function because it allows you to, for example, a task like fold laundry, you don't know that you want to do it at a really specific time, but you want to do it sometime that day. It gives you the option to book that in, and then it'll show up at the bottom of your plans as something that you can just pop into your calendar whenever you're ready. So that's a really nice one, for example, for something like organizing your desk. My desk is not that messy, so I think it's something that I would choose any time for because it's a short task for me. You can also choose things to repeat. This is really nice. For example, if you work 2 jobs or you have a different schedule depending on the day of the week, because you can choose not only the regular repetitions, but then also the customs. And this is really nice. For example, I work in a hybrid environment, so I'm in the office 2 days a week. And so I can choose the custom repetition to kind of figure out my routine based on the day. And then you have the subtasks. Here is one way that you can use the AI. You can see here, add subtasks, and then that will generate a neuroinclusive checklist that you can get started with a task with. Of course, you don't have to do what the AI says, but this is really nice for folks that get stuck with even not really being super sure how to get started with a task. You can go in and always edit it to kind of fit your needs or to delete something, but it's a really nice way to just kind of get the creative juices flowing, especially if a task is a little bit more complicated. You also have the option to add notes and then add a tag. The tag function is really helpful because there is this little library of tasks that you can refer back to, so you don't have to keep repeating, you don't have to keep creating the same exact task if it's something that you use quite often. So this is especially helpful for people who want a lot of detail in their planning because it makes sure that you're not spending like 4 hours planning a day, which we don't want. You just press add task and then it shows up under your plans. I can show you down here too. This is where the anytime tasks fit. And then let me see with the question here, how about Microsoft Google Calendars? So yes, on iOS, anything that is in your Apple calendars will automatically sync if you want it to. So for example, if we go under my settings, you can see here under calendar import, I have toggled on and off what calendars I actually want. And it is, it's all my Google ones, it's my Outlook ones. So anything that is able to be imported into Apple calendars will show up in Tiimo. We're also working on options to directly get just your Google Calendar straight into Tiimo through the web app, but that is something that's in the works. And let me see. We have. You have the same issue as we were showing Tiimo to a bank earlier this week, and this was also an issue for them because of security reasons. We are trying to figure out a way to be, extra GDPR compliant for organizations that, don't allow those kinds of integrations. But yes, I'm sorry. I also wanted to show y'all the focus timer. This is one of the first features that Tiimo really got known for. So this is it's a visual focus timer. It was created really to be a, the virtual version of those like physical, like egg timers is what I always think of them of, that folks use to keep track of time. And this is nice because you can have it on your smartwatch, propped up next to you when you're working. I'm someone who gets really into hyperfocus. It's my ADHD. And then I will forget to drink water for like 5 hours. And then I have a migraine and it's not a nice time. So this really allows me to make sure that I keep track of the time because it is really that visual representation. It also shows the subtasks that you have in some, if you have any. And then if you have several tasks going on at the same time, you can see, you can toggle back and forth between them to, to be able to keep track of the several tasks that you've ongoing. If you ever make any changes to to one of your tasks that is linked, it'll reflect back in the original invite. So if I, for example, were to say, if I were to decline this right now, then it would also reflect that in the original invite. So that's really nice too. You don't have to do something in two places. You can really just get it all one and done in this one planning environment. Let me see. And then, okay, and yay to being able to figure it out. And another thing that I was telling y'all about is the explore function, and this is where you see the library of tasks that you've created in the past. You can look by the tag that you have. So for example, if I want to look at my household tasks, you'll see not only the ones that you've created yourself, but also any tasks that Tiimo has created as kind of examples for you if you want to be able to see some inspiration. So you have all this, and then a new feature. It is the first version, but we've actually just integrated with Apple Health Kit. The dream of our two founders at the beginning was to really kind of be both a planning and then also a mental health app. So we have the option now to track your mood. This is, like I said, integrated with Apple Health Kit. So for example, if you have an Apple Watch, you can track your mood here and then track, you know, whatever your steps or something through your Apple Watch, and it'll all show up in your Apple Health Kit. You can see it under track mood at the top here. And then it'll ask you, of course, for your consent to integrate. And let's see, allow. And then you have the option here to choose how you're feeling. And because this is the first version, it just asks you once a day for now how you're feeling, and it will log it for you. But over time, we're hoping to also integrate, for example, being able to plan based on your mood. We have a AI project that's coming out in a couple of months where you're going to be able to go into Tiimo and just brain dump either via text or voice how you're feeling and what tasks you have in that day, and then it will help you plan based on that and kind of create a calendar for you. So that is really exciting. That's going to be built into this. And yeah, we're really just trying to take a lot of the work and the labor out of planning to make it as easy and straightforward for people as possible. So there we go. I log my very first mood. Very exciting. And the last thing that I want to just show you here is the inbox that is at the top right. This is also going to be getting a bit of a makeover. We've realized through a whole lot of user research, and then we also are always working with the community to kind of figure out, you know, what things people are looking for, that a lot of people really need a place to just like slap down their thoughts and brain dump before they plan. The inbox or to-do list is that for now. It is only going to get more advanced with some exciting updates that are coming. But for now, you're able to just put any tasks into here before you get into planning. So if you're someone who likes a lot of detail in their planning, you can kind of park it here for until you're ready to plan. And this was the thing that got me into using Tiimo, because I was a big Apple Reminders person. And then being able to integrate my Apple Reminders with this task list was really helpful, because yeah, I have a super bad short-term memory. So this really helps me make sure that something just doesn't drop out of my brain, because I can just throw it in here. And when I'm ready to plan, you can press the black button on the right of a task, you can add details. So that is, of course, all of this is just options that you have when you want to plan with Tiimo. It is really a choose your own adventure kind of environment, and you can, yeah, make with it what you want. But yeah, we're only finding new ways to kind of give folks the planning tools to make planning work for them. And yeah, I am going to show you just real quick what the web app looks like so you can see that as well. The web app, we use a feedback platform called Notes to get feedback from our users. We also do a whole lot of user research, and so many folks were saying that having the option to plan on their desktop was something that was really important to them. And so it is something that we made happen last year. And it has been a really great addition because, like I said, it syncs. And as someone, for example, who works on my laptop, it's a really nice way to be able to not get stuck on my phone because I have my plans right there to also see, yeah, on my computer. So let me just pull that up really quick. 1 second. Here we go. Perfect. So here, I hope you can see it. Yeah, here is the web app. It shows the exact same stuff. The only thing is that you can see a month, a week, and a day view. And this is really nice. For example, if you're someone who likes to drag and drop and create tasks in, in this kind of way, I don't know, I think it's called a drag and drop. So you can really just plan in a, on the big screen here in just the same way that you would on the phone, but you just have a bit more room and a bit more of an ability to kind of see what's happening this week, next week, etc. So you can make plans for the future. The mobile app, of course, also allows you to see other days, but this is just, it usually helps me a lot to make sure that I don't overbook myself for a certain day of the week because I can just see it kind of all there in one place. So yeah, does anyone have any questions or do you want to see anything? Is there anything that I can, I don't know, answer questions about? Yeah. Love to hear.
Sounds really handy. Thinking of all the bits of paper I have on my desk, and I kind of think, oh, I should put them all in this. That would help.
Yeah, it it definitely has made my desk a whole lot less cluttered and confusing. I'm no longer finding Post-its from 3 months ago that are too cryptic to understand. Yeah.
Beaux, are you able to kind of touch upon the body doubling and the other elements that it can offer?
Yeah. So body doubling was actually a thing that we're hosting for a long time. It was my little baby project. We were doing a lot in terms of finding other ways to support people through not just the hardcore planning tools, but we realized over time that we'd rather do one thing really well than a lot of things sort of. So we're actually partnering. This is in the works, but we're partnering with Flown, the body doubling experts, to be able to offer body doubling from the spring onwards. So please keep an eye out for that. Unfortunately, for now, it is just the focus on the hardcore planning. But yeah, we have a bunch of tools in the app, including courses with some really amazing neuroinclusion experts, including, for example, a course with a child psychologist on, what anxiety can look like in neurodivergent children and teens. So there's a lot of really, really great, juicy resources under tools in a lot of formats, from audio to written to video. But yeah, for now, a lot of the live events are unfortunately, paused, but we hope to get them back. I would like to. And then,
sorry, Bear's asking, is the app free to use?
Yes, so there is a free version, and I will also say if finances are ever a barrier for people, we really care about making this tool accessible to people. So please reach out to me or reach out to our main email. I will just share my email in here, and that is an option. I will say, it is a paid app as well. So some of our features are premium and over time are paid. But if there is ever a financial barrier, it is important for us that folks get access. So you can always write me. Yes. Yeah. Any other questions?
Anybody else have a question for Beaux? Maybe everyone needs to try this app and then maybe they'll have more questions.
That would be lovely. And you're also welcome to reach out with any questions. We just updated our FAQ on the website too, which is super comprehensive. So that is a really great resource as well if you ever need support. And then of course you can email us or write us in the website chat, any of that. We're always here to help. And yay to downloading it. Oh, I'm so excited. Yeah, I really, obviously I'm, a little bit biased, but I did also just genuinely love this app before I ever worked here. So.
So you can use it for, you can add more than one profile, can't you? So if a parent wanted to run it for their child, for example, but then that ran across to school as well, how would that work?
Yeah, absolutely. So there is the option to create up to 5 profiles per account, and so we've seen folks use it, for example, a parent using it to support their child. There's also ways to track how many tasks someone got done in a day. So I, for example, know of a user who has a autistic son who is, 9 years old and who needs just not help with like hardcore planning, but help with like brushing teeth and those like daily self-care tasks, and they use it with 2 profiles to kind of make sure that he stays on track with his day. So absolutely, there's ways. The profile would have the same email and password if you share it. So yeah, the 5 profiles would have the same login, but there is the option under settings to kind of toggle back and forth between the profiles.
So a student could have a home profile and a school profile. So a teacher or a support person can help them organise their school day, but also a parent can organise their home day.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right. Well,
Any other
questions? Anybody got another question for Beaux while we have her on the line? Looks like everybody is very quiet, and I think you have given us a great, great presentation about the app. I think it'd be interesting for us to all try it.
Yeah, and I'm happy to, you're welcome to write me an email. I'm also happy to do more sessions in the future. We have a great support team as well. So yeah, any ways in which we can support is great. And also if you ever have any feedback, we like thrive off feedback. So if you realize something's missing, you're looking for something, that we're always integrating that into our next product ideation sessions. So yeah.
Great. All right, well, thanks very much, Beaux, and we'll be seeing you again soon anyway. And thank you everyone for joining this afternoon. You're getting a clap down there from Tess.
Thank you.
So, thanks very much, everyone. All right, Mary's downloaded it too. Bear's downloaded it. Oh, this is very exciting. Okay. All right. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Beaux.
Have a good evening.
Thank you.
I'll email you about the staff training that we've got coming up. Oh, she's gone.
Gone.
Yeah, she's gone. She's gone. All right. See you, Annabelle.
Bye.